Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Emily. I'm Crafty Emily here on Flosstube. It is Wednesday, September the 3rd. It's later in the evening. It's 6:30 here in the UK. I've been at work this morning and then I've just sent Richard off because he doesn't know that I went to the quilt fabric shop today when I finished work, and I have bought 6 pieces of fabric and some fusible fleece, which I will show you. Oh, and one other thing, if I can find it, because in 2 days' time, Jules is releasing the 4th of the fisherman samplers, and I bought Aurifil 12 weight in, I think it is fuchsia. I think it's called fuchsia, but it is. I've not bought 12 weight. I've bought something else altogether. What have I bought? That's not 12 weight. Oh dear, I'll have to go back. 100% cotton, number 28, Aurifil. That's not 12 weight. Okay, that doesn't look like 12 weight to me. I think I bought the wrong thing. Anyway, it's this colour, and this is the colour I will stitch it in. I'll just pretend that it's 12 weight. I shall have to go back to the stitchy shop. Oh, goodness me. I could have spent hundreds and hundreds of pounds in that shop today because everything caught my eye. Anyway, this will be the 4th, which they're no longer in here. I'll stitch this on the 18 count, the other half of the belladonna with the pink, and I now need to dye a piece of 18 count Ada this colour, which I think I can probably do. Anyway, that's not a today problem. Okay, so our month has rolled, and what I concentrated on last week was my whip go goal, because I didn't put any stitches into the Better to See You with, so that's a whip go goal that I let go for next year. But I was already stitching on the Dragon's Eye, and the last time I filmed it looked like this, and I put in a total of 2,783 stitches to reach the 5,000 stitch goal, and I think I did go over just a little bit. I'm just folding it a bit so we can see where I am now. What did I get to? I put into it 5,022. It was that close, but I wanted to finish the goal that I had, so that's what I did. Okay, so it now looks like this. So quite different from the last time you saw it, and quite different from the start of the month. So that has had its 5,000 stitches. So 5,000 stitch goal is huge. I know that now. 3 would have been great. 4 would have been hard to do. 5 is ridiculous. I know that now. But then my life has changed a lot this year. Anyway, it's brilliant. So next year, I think I will have to I'll have to put some stitches into it next year. This is on a piece of my crazy fabric, which really did dye up bananas. Absolutely crack as well, this one. Yeah, I was going for motley dragon skin. There are scales all around this eye. But anyway, brilliant. So that was number 15 complete, and I think my 15 is half done. So my 15 is complete. Oh, so we have a giveaway for next week, and it's very cute. So I owe that £6. I'll do that next week. So I like to keep myself right, but I don't have any change at the moment. So the giveaway for next week, should anyone want to leave me a comment, is this. Now, this was last year's December's Needle Minder of the Month. So those in my Needle Minder of the Month club have already got one of these. He was a little sleepy polar bear dog thingy, and I absolutely love him. He was a lot of hard work to get him right, actually. So this is a giveaway. If you'd like to be in the dip to win one of these, of which I will never be making any more because it took a long time to make them, leave me a comment, positive comment please, that would be lovely. And yeah, Needleminder of the Month Club. If it happens to dip somebody who already has one of these, I will send you something different. Because I do know the people who have these. Some of you do comment on my videos as well. So if it just happens that way and it just falls because I do the spin and I put the spin on the screen and that's it, whoever wins wins. So if that happens, probably won't, but if it does, because it's sod's law, isn't it? Anyway, that was a big chunk of my stitching. There's a giveaway for next week and on we go. So I've started this month's whip go. I've stitched on 3 of my pieces so far, so that's pretty good. And I'll show you them now. The first one I've stitched on is this ghastly thing, which might well end up just looking like a big blob because it is a knockoff cheap Chinese kit from Tapestry Market. Studio Ghibli do not license anything anywhere other than their own stuff. So yes, I bought a knockoff kit because I love the artwork and it means a lot to my girls. So it's the Spirited Away water dragon with the little girl who I can't remember her name right now, but never mind, it doesn't matter. I've not actually stitched her. So last week when I pulled it, it looked like this. This week it looks like this, and it has had, let me find it, 601 stitches. I'm trying to do 200. The first day I just put a thread in, and after that I thought about it and thought, right, if I do roughly 250 stitches a night into this, this is, I think, what count is this? Is this 11 count? It is. Well, it's 3 strands of it's CXC type thread. We're not pretending we're DMC here at all. It is, yeah, fairly polycotton. Very definitely a polycotton, this thread. But I'm filling it in. It's very easy to do when you're tired, and I'm going for background. So I've done all of this bit and I've gone in and filled in a couple of colours here. As you can see, it's very easy to stitch with round the lines, and I'm going to knock out 5,000 stitches into this, and I think that'll be a really massive chunk of progress into this dodgy kit. It is 129 by 173, 40 centimetres by 50 centimetres. There we go. And yeah, I did a lot of the dragon last year because I really wanted to see if it actually looked like the dragon. As you can see, it is pixelated to absolute buggery. It is ghastly. But up on the wall, it will be a very loose representation of what it's meant to be. I could do better, really. We could all do better, but I have them. I've got 4 of these, 2 of which I've started and 2 of which I have definitely not. I have 5 of these. I think it was buy 4 get 1 free when I bought them, and I think it was literally like $60 or something for all 5 of them, so they were not expensive, not by any shred of our imagination. But there we go. Spirited Away. I'm going to keep on trucking with that one, putting in, that's about 2 strands. Oh, I'm looking at it here, the stitches are huge. 2 strands, 2.5 strands a night. I'm just going to jog along. The second one I've started, I put in, where is it hiding? Up here. I put in just a few stitches into my pointed 5th because, yeah, can't resist. Like when I pulled it out at the beginning and the end of last month, it looked like this, and it has had 365 stitches, and now it looks, this bit here looks like this because I've filled in all this turquoise here. I'm currently filling in the blend because we're going into green. We're going quite sharply into green, so I don't know if you can actually see the bottom 3 rows there are 1 strand of the turquoise and 1 strand of the green. Over here. So that was 3844, and we are transiting into 3812. So I'm currently using 1 strand of the very bright jade green and the turquoise. So they're incredibly different colours. So I'm blending them 1 strand of each for 3 rows. Here is my ongoing threads. You think I'd have a thread bed because I make the bloody things, but no. Just like I don't really use needle minders when I make them. I do sometimes. One of my pieces has got needle minders on it. I don't know which one. Maybe none of my pieces have needle minders on them. Oh dear. Anyway, so favourite fabric. Never seen this again. If I ever see it again, I'm going to buy like 5 meters of it, but I've never seen it again. Anyway, so I'm going to keep on with this, and because I've done some of the green that side, I'm going to work on the tops of the pillars for this 5,000 stitches. And look, we're only got about a third of it left to go, but we are there. All of this bit done. Marvellous. It's had an extra couple of thousand stitches this year as well. So all in all, I think it's going to have about 13,000 stitches this year, which is brilliant because this is one of the ones I need to be finished for Leap Day in 2028. So thinking about it, we have to go our skates on a little bit with those pieces. Happily Ever After is this month's whip go as well, and it's another one of my Leap Day pieces, still in its bag, not been brought out yet. And that's got the purple Aurifil in there. Oh yes, look, it should have a red spool, and I've bought a grey spool. But you know what? I think I'll use that to put the beads on. I'll drop the colour down, I'll pop back in, I'll get 12 weight. I'm not starting it soon, it's going to be a next year start anyway. I need to go and get other fabrics, but after. Oh, I'll talk about that at the end. Anyway, this one I've not touched yet, so I will touch it this week. And the fourth piece, that's 1, 2, 3 of my whip go calls. Fourth whip go call is Moon Dragon, which, oh, my phone just moved. That wasn't meant to happen. Stay put, please, phone. I might need to put a little bit of fabric under it to stop it from sliding about. Moon Dragon has had 260 stitches. I do find this hard going, and I'm trusting the process, but the colours on Pattern Keeper are nothing like the DMC, which I find sad because on Pattern Keeper it looks like it blends beautifully, and in real life it's very chunky, as you can see here. Look, what I mean by that is the colours aren't seamlessly blending. There's a very clear wiggly line there. The dragon, he's lovely. So all I'm doing here is I'm just picking a colour that's close to where my stitching is. I really do intend to stitch this in the shape. So his nose he's finished to his nose, and the end of the moon is done. That's where I started. And then I'm going that way. So I've put in some. So I am going to I didn't know whether I was going to touch this at all, because this I find quite hard to stitch. But as long as I've got good light and it's daytime and I'm in here and it's light, I should be fine. And if I don't get to 5,000 stitches, I don't get to 5,000 stitches. It might not happen, but I'm going to put some stitches in. That's going back on that side, because I'm going to re-show you that again in a minute. Okay, then I put in, I was stitching for my long dog spin thing. I was stitching on Count Your Blessings. I finished my 1,000 stitches in Count Your Blessings. It was a little bit over, but not by much. And he looks like this now. I'll put up a picture of what it looked like when I filmed last time, because it's really small. And I put in a bit more of the border. Woo, we are sliding about. Hang on, let me find a piece of something to put under this. Oh, there's my piece of felt. Hang on. Piece of felt, very useful. Pop that under my, sorry, I've just blocked the camera. Oh, so professional. Right, hopefully that will keep it where it's meant to stay. Like that. Okay, so I put in to the bottom of the border. Don't know why. I don't know why I went all the way down there. Oh, it's because I've cut the bottom of the fabric off. I had a fat quarter of this. I left the widthways so that I could get it in the Q-snap. But I put it in the Q-snap and I stitched to the bottom to make sure, because the flower then comes to here. And then I put it in the overlocker and cut the blooming bottom off because it was flapping around everywhere and making me crazy. So I've put in just a few words. It says instead of sheep. Oh, they're so tiny. These are teeny tiny 28 count stitches, and I love it. I love it. And I've got a colour palette here, and basically I'm just making up the colours using this palette as I go. So if there's flowers and I need 3 colours for the flowers, I might say, right, middle of the flowers, we'll use the yellow. I'm going to make these flowers pink. I'll use the mid pink and the dark pink, or I'll use the brighter pink and the, you know, the peachy pink. I'm just making it up as I go along, but using the colours I've pulled, because then it's consistent and I'm not adding in, because I'd already used all of the colours up at the top here, bar the yellow and the white and the browns, because the browns are in the animals, so I can't need them. Yeah, it's glorious Technicolor, but it's tiny. And I don't normally stitch teeny tiny things. I choose not to, because old human. Yeah, so I'm very pleased with how he's coming along. There's a lot to go. Here's the mock-up. So as you can see, it's incredibly busy, and I've gone across the top down here. I've done the instead of sheep, and I've done that dog, but he is running that way. My dogs are being chased by the stag, so that's getting flipped, and they're getting flipped, and everything else is staying the same. So I need to think about it just a little bit as I do it, and then obviously it's going to have the 20, and then it's going to have something else up there. And that's that. So as I go, I'll choose my colours. I'm going to leave all the motifs as they are. I rather like them. They're a bit traditional for me. I don't normally do the berry basket things. That's not really me. But I love them, and I especially love these little sheep in their little garlands. I think they're glorious. So I might stitch one of those the next time he spins. I haven't respun because I've got 2 long dogs in this month's rotation, so I think the 2 I've got might do me. If I get a bit bored, how I'm going to get bored this month, I don't know, because I'm going to show you all the things I'm stitching. If I get a bit bored, I might do a spin, but we're not gonna put our chickens on that. Okay, I also finished my 1,000. Well, it was 1,024 stitches in the end into Dilemma, which didn't spin. I just fancied, I was doing my video and I wanted to, my video needs all my phone's processing power. If I do anything, even have Pattern Keeper, which I think is fairly ambient, you know, it's really not doing anybody any bother. Even Pattern Keeper open, my video goes literally like clockwork. It is like really slow, like a hamster who can't be bothered walking around its wheel. It's so slow, and it takes hours to process. And by that I mean taking the edited version out of, I use UCut because it's free. I haven't upgraded it. I find the free version absolutely enough for what I do. My super unprofessional, oh dear, I just put my hand over the camera for like 10 seconds videos, which I generally do in one take unless I need to go and run and get something. That's just how I roll. So from UCut, I finish it, and then I have to save it to a format that I can upload. So that saving takes a very long time. Sometimes it doesn't. So I just picked up something with a paper pattern, and Dilemma was looking at me, so Dilemma got some stitches. And because I'm doing 1,000 into long dogs, I put 1,000 in. So it now looks like this. I am almost, you can see the equivalent piece the other side. I am almost at this corner. I probably should have put that one extra strand and just come around the corner. It also has a border, a three stitch border all the way around it. That's thousands of stitches in itself. 3 stitches, wow. And I've started to do it, so I've got to do it. Which, you know, I'm not sad about, because I'll always do stuff like that. So yeah, my whip go goal when it comes up is to finish the frame. I'm just going to say right now, when it does come up, and I bet it's bloody December when I'm super busy, I won't be doing the whole frame. I will have a blooming good go at it. But 1,000 stitches didn't even touch that frame. So we'll keep a track, and we'll find out how many stitches it was to finish the frame, you know, in 3 years when I actually finish its frame. but Dilemma got a go. It hadn't had a turn yet this year, so it got a go. This is, I think, the first or second project bag I ever made. I love this one. I stole this piece of fabric from my mum. It's batik. I like batiks. Not really my colourway. And then weird plain fabric there. Yeah, I don't make bags that look so much like that anymore. Anyway, it's absolutely fine. These are ones I can pop away for now. Okay, treasure hunt bookshelf I'm going to show you. This is my everyday forever piece. I've tried much harder with treasure hunt bookshelf this week, and I've put in, I do have a needle minder on here. It's a thread drop, and it's broken because it was a prototype and I cut the hole far too close to the edge, which is why I own it. I now, if I do ones like this now, I now put resin on them, which makes them like 100 times stronger. I learned as I went along. This was one of the first ones I ever made with the multiple holes. 1003, where it was last week, here, and where it is now. It's got 1003 stitches in it, which I think's for me pretty good going for a week. And I've been putting in the black. I'm going to persist with this black because it's coming on. It's coming along. So there we go. There's still tons, absolute tons of black to put in here before I even move the Q-snap. I'm going to have to go back up because I've missed some black up here. I noticed when I zoomed the pattern out. I was like, oh, I've missed some. I've missed some black up here. I got to Foxy Loxy and I went down because there was huge chunks and I just wanted to get some progress. But I need to go back up there and fix and stitch the black up there. And then I'll carry on going that way. But just getting on. I think last night I didn't do so many, but the last couple of nights I've put several hundred in. It's kind of nice. I kind of enjoy it. That is me sitting up in bed long after Richard's bailed and gone to sleep, and just putting some stitches in. Right, so that's my stitching for the week. 6,462 stitches, so not a bad week at all, which leaves me 214,580 so far for the year, which is fine, which is really fine and good. I've shown you everything. Now, Space September. Quite a lot of us are doing some Space September. It's all Adelaide's fault. Adelaide, who's just exploded. You've exploded, Adelaide. You've dropped into the scene and gone, oh, not exploded, blossomed. I don't know. Anyway, you're such a good addition to this community, and Adelaide, who I'm sure she's got 1,500 more subscribers than me, so I don't need to plug her because I'm pretty sure anybody who's watching this video is watching her videos. If you're not, go and watch Adelaide because she's brilliant. She's doing a video every day for the first 14 days of September, which is pretty cool. I always love it when she does that, because when I get up for work in the morning, so once I'm dressed and out the shower and downstairs, I'm making Richard's lunch, putting his breakfast out, making 2 cups of coffee one to take with me and one to drink at work, and brushing my hair, putting my boots on. You know, I'm doing all that. I'll have Adelaide on and I'll watch her then. So I'm watching you as like 4 o'clock in the morning when I'm just about to tip out to work, which is lovely. It's like a little treat when I get those. I get 2 weeks of that. It's marvellous. It's a little bit of time for me, which is nice. So Space September. She held up the pieces that she's going to stitch on this month, and in it was Barbara Anna's Cosmic Dreams 2 picture here. Now, I've already stitched Cosmic Dreams 1. Cosmic Dreams 1 is diddly tiny, partly because it is on a piece of, I think, 40 count. So there's Cosmic Dreams 1. And I think I stitched this in like 2 stitchy sessions. It's nothing. It's little tiddly tiny. Isn't she glorious? I love her. So I've already done that one. And of course I've finished Dreaming, this is Dreaming Girl. I finished Sailing Girl, I think, as well. But here's my original Dreaming Girl. I brought this down to show you the fabric, which is Gothic. Picture this plus Gothic, and this is the piece I bought. that size was all I could get of Crystal Gothic. Absolutely love this fabric. They're completely different sizes. This one here is smaller. This is 20, I think this is 28 count. Obviously that's 2/2. It might be 32 count looking at it. Yes, it is. So this is like 16 count, and I messed with the colours. I have since I learned doing this piece not to mess with Barbarana's colours. This, of course, I did not mess with the colours, and it's absolutely perfect. This one I messed with the colours. I changed every colour apart from her skin. Actually, I think I changed one of the skin colours. I changed too much. I just needed to trust. You need to trust Barbarana because she knows what she's doing. So yeah, lesson learned. Onwards. And so I said, right, I'm going to stitch along with Cosmic Dreams 2 because I've got Cosmic Dreams 1 and I love them and I want them framed and on my wall. So I immediately went and bought the pattern because Adelaide said she had a bit of trouble getting into Pattern Keeper. Now, I've put Barbarana's in before. This one you did have to manually put in the size, which I've got used to doing because that's the way to get long dogs in without mistakes. You have to manually use it. There's a little, when it says there's no grids, you say okay, and then it lets you do it, and then you say do it manually, because you either come out of there and it says nope, I'm not touching it, or you go in. Now I always put in the bin. You've got a pencil and a bin, anything colour and big full size full chart on a page, which Barbarana always gives you. I put them in the bin and I just keep the black and white pages, and what you have to do is you have to count the size, and then you click the pencil and it gives you width and height of the page. So you put that in, and then it gives you a little tiny, I think it's like green box with corners, and then you have to stretch it up and overlay your corners over the chart, and when it's on and square you just click OK and it's done. And you do that for this chart 2 pages, and then it can do it. It found half the thread. Page 1 it found the threads. Page 2 it didn't. It asked me to input the threads, so I just input them again, and it now has 2. It has 2 of each colour. So I'll finish the stitches of that colour on that page, and then when I fill in the stitches on that side on the second page, it'll come off. It's fine. The stitch count will be good. Anyway, I'm at 20% of mine, but I had an old piece of 18 count Ada that I had bought on, the only thing I've ever bought on Facebook, like the buy and sell pages. I've talked about this fabric before. I'm actually doing my Happily Ever After on another piece of it. It was pale lilac and navy blue speckles. You can see the speckles are still on this piece because this was paler, but this was pale mauve, like a bluey mauve, this fabric. It's beautifully soft because it's been dyed so many times. Yeah, mine's been dyed again. So I wanted kind of the Gothic, which mine's paler, but I'm good with that because the hair is pretty. There, it's that kind of colour. There we go. So I dyed up using just I put it in purple and I put it in navy blue and tried to get a good dark scrunch on it. So I'm quite happy. When it was wet, it was glorious. It was beautiful when it was wet. It was really dark, but fabric always dries much lighter. So there it is, and there is 20% of the second Cosmic Girl. But she's got the hair, so she's going to be a really good, because this one's got the Afro universe, which is wonderful, and my normal Dreaming Girl has got the hair, so that is going to bridge between them beautifully. So there's my 20% of my second Dreaming Girl. As you can see, it barely fits in my 11 by 11. It's flappy at the bottom, but who cares? I've already 20% into it, and I'm going to keep going. Now, Space September. And I thought, well, I'll do one. I'll play along. I'll do one. And then I realised that this little oiky dragon is sitting on a bloody moon. So he is space. So he is a whip go call, marvellous, and and he's Space September, so that's 2. So I'm really pleased with myself. 2 space pieces. Who even knew I have even one? I certainly didn't. I didn't think I had anything spacey. And then of course there's this, which I haven't started yet, and I mean, it's the Great Bear. Of course it's space, it's stars. Like, duh. Why did I not think of this and starting this? So this is a September start for me. I'm going to start my my rather wonderful Ursa Major, but I just love his little face. Look, he just looks so gloomy, looking down from the heavens onto everybody. He's so beautiful. I have decided to centre start this, just so that I'm actually in the stars. And I have all my Beyond Glorious threads ready to go. He's been in Pattern Keeper since the day I bought him. I bought with him 25 count easy grid. Yeah, I'm not using that because I don't roll like that, and it's meant to be 2 strands. When I do a large full coverage piece, sorry, there's tissue paper in that wonderful box, I do 20 count with 1 strand. This was Randall Spangler's Fireside Dreams, 20 count. It's big enough. It's big enough, and I just need to draw some grid lines on it, which I will do, and I will find the centre, and I'm going to start this for Space September on this piece of 20 count that I harvested. And I was ratcheting through my fabrics because I have started dyeing the next batch of fabrics, and I've done the pinks and purples already, and I've got greens on the go, yellows and greens on the go just now. I'm trying to do grungy Halloween fabrics, but my fabrics run to pretty. Turns out I like doing really pretty fabric, and grungy, dirty, you know, those dirty grungy ones that are so pretty, they're so lovely. I like pretty colours. I'm really struggling to get the real earthy grungy colours. I'm having a go though. I'm going to have a go. Just because they're not my colourway doesn't mean they're not somebody else's colourway, as is my thought process. I can't just sell pink and purple and teal fabric. I mean, I could, but I won't. Anyway, I went to the old, oh my goodness me, I've got quite a lot more to say yet. I went to the old craft shop, which is closing down, and I bought myself half price 35 DMC. And what I did, because her DMC, you know, the big display stand, is basically empty. I managed to get 35 colours that I needed. Needed is not really what I mean. I pulled up my, oh, what's it called? Clossoni, I want to say Beauty. It's a dragon. I think it's called Clossoni Beauty, which I was gifted the max colour version of. And I'll put a picture of it up here. And I basically went through, because it's in Pattern Keeper waiting to go, I went through the DMC list, and if she had it and there was over 1,000 stitches on the piece, I got one. So mostly it's all the 3,000s. There wasn't very much of anything else left, but I got 35 skeins, which is felt a bit decadent doing it, but they were half price. When can we ever buy half price, like properly half price DMC in the UK? Anyway. And she had a full range of age DMC. On one of the prongs, she had the old ones with the tabs, which I know are 1980s. Then she had ones with old labels. I picked the newest labels I could. So the labels that are like this colour one, the plastic label like this. If I could get one like this, I got these labels. If I couldn't, I went for next best, which is the old paper. Don't know if I've got any of the old paper labels here. No, I don't think I have any old paper labels in here. I've got an anchor in here. You don't belong. Ugh, there's an anchor thread in there that doesn't belong in a DMC box. No, these are all new. Oh, here's an old one. There, with the paper label. I I had to get a paper label, I did. If I could get the plastic labels, I got those. I think I only got 1 or 2 paper labels. This box here is DMC. I found these are not my new DMCs. I'm lying. 3808 in here is new because I had actually used all my 3808. So there is a 3808 in here that I have bought this week. But other than that, these are just ones that I have found while sorting out my craft room, this area here. So these need to be checked in my master set because I think most of them belong in my master set. There are a lot of bobbins in here. There are a lot of bobbins in here, which means they probably are out of my master set. So they need to go back into my master set like pronto. So I need to sort that out. And then if it's on a skein and needs to be on a bobbin, I'll bobbinate it and put it in my master set. Because I can never find. I go to my master set and it's not there, you know? Yeah. I also got, it wasn't Petite Treasure Braid. I've put it in a box over there. I'm not going to get up. Little tiny cards, about half the size of a Petite Treasure Braid card, in bright pink, bright teal, navy blue, thinking I can put them in on my fishy goings on and etc. together. So I thought I'd get those, and I got some beads, some petites, not any particular colour because it was random what was left. So I got some of those. And then as she was, and some more trim, some of the glorious trim that I really love, that's on some of my newer bags. And while she was calculating that and then pressing the 50%, because the whole shop is 50%, basically she rings it all through the till and then she 50%s it. I could see like the tapestry fabric, that really rigid stuff that you use cruel wool to do like seat covers and things with, and I saw it and she had like a bold fit and I said to her, I can see you've got that, have you got Ada? And she went, oh, I've always sold Ada. And I was like, she opened a big filing cabinet drawer, it was like wide, under the counter, and she pulled out this packet full of Ada. So in the 18 count packet I found sage green, that's what I got, and this piece here I was going to do my Cassoni Dragon on 20 count. I'm doing it on 18 count, which means 2/1, so it's going to be massive, but I don't mind. And it's long and skinny. I've cut this to size. It's going to be that big, long and skinny, and slightly wider. I think I've got a bigger border. I think I've got 2 inches top and bottom and about 4 inches either side. I think I will start top centre. I'm going to start top centre so that I know I'm in the middle for side to side. But big piece of 18 count. It was cut in half, but it was £14 a metre, which for even the full bolt would have been, full bolt width would have been £28 a metre, which is still brilliant because a metre of Ada here in the UK is, you're looking around £35. So I'm talking full bolt width, which is like this kind of length. That's what I mean, selvage to selvage. So what I got wasn't that. What I got was half. No, I've got over half. Goodness only knows what I've bought from her then, because it's not half, because that's half. Yeah, because my selvage runs down the side. I've got this much, which may well have been half of a different kind of bolt. Anyway. So this I got the piece which was just about 1.5 meters. So anyway, I'm really pleased with that, and the rest of it is going in to be dyed grungy green. It'll have dark green and possibly brown if I can bring myself to open the brown dye I bought. It might have some brown on it, so they're going to get dyed. And then this is 16 count baby pink, and I've picked a pattern to put on this, bought the pattern, put the pattern in Pattern Keeper. Now I've seen lots of people selling this pattern, lots of people on Etsy selling this pattern. I bought it from the same the same shop that I bought my bugs from. So it's X Cross Stitch Patterns X, and it's this. It's a stained glass spider. I'm not a spider person. It's Halloweeny. I'm going to start it in October. It's the colours that have got me, and having looked at the pattern, it's blocks. It's not maddening confetti, so it's not going to have like the smoothest gradient, but it's huge. It's 300 by 300. It's a massive, great thing. Anyway, this is this weirdly now doesn't look enough. Was this what I was going to stitch this on? I'm now debating whether this is big enough. I don't think it is. Anyway, I did have a piece the right size, which I'll either find or I won't find. Maddie's waggling something at me. What is that? Is that your smelly soap? Ugh. She's got like medicated soap. It smells like, don't know if you have it anywhere else in the world, but Germaline here in the UK was like Savlon. If you fall and scrape your knee as a kid or scrape your elbow, your mum would get the Germaline out and rub it in, and that magic cream would make it better. It never did, but it was pink and it was greasy and it smelled disgusting. You can get toothpaste that smells like Germaline and it makes me gag. She's got soap that smells like it. She loves it and it's awful. That's her going, I'm off for a shower with my funny soap. She was waving her funny soap at me. She's really strange. She's just finished her 3-night shift, so she's happy. She does 3 night shifts a week, 30 hours. Because she works night shift, she gets paid more than me. Which makes me very tempted to go and do 4 night shifts instead of 5 days knocking my pan in. But I really like where I work, and I understand at my grand old age that that's really important, to enjoy where you work, and I enjoy where I work. So I don't really want to make a change yet. So when I don't need to be in Carlisle all the time, you know, because Flora started her last year of education today. She's in at year 13 here in the UK, which is it. Next year's university, or whatever she chooses to do. So this is it, her last year. And and it's going to be the end of the year, and all 3 of my girls will be finished. Anyway, so yeah, 3 space September projects. Who knew I had them? Who knew I had 3? Well, I had 2, but I didn't put the pieces together. So I'm really pleased with that. I'm very tempted to do one of the Aurora ones, but I'm gonna start my Ursa Major, and hopefully that will scratch that itch of doing an Aurora, because it's not an Aurora, but it's a spacey background. But I'm gonna get that started this week. And then today I've been mulling over. Oh, I've been buying cutters. Oh my goodness me, I've been buying cutters for needle minders, which I talked about last week, but absolutely maddening that it keeps throwing up, that Facebook keeps throwing up blooming tutorials on how to make earrings to me. I finally bought decent fusible fleece. I'm very happy. I bought 2 meters of fusible fleece. This is to make the bags good and strong. It's thin as anything, and I can feel it's lovely. I said to her, "You need stuff that isn't going to move and shrink." And she was like, "Oh, yeah, this is it. This is the stuff. It's brilliant." And I totally trust her because she's great. So what I was thinking while I'm standing on the SCOs, the self-checkouts, my brain is going at too fast. I thought I might do a Halloween box, not dissimilar to my Advent box, but not as much stuff. And I thought a few bits and pieces might be really nice to go in a little box. And I thought, right, well, I'll need 3 fabrics to definitely do a bag, and other bits to go with it. And I'm tinkering with doing a little pattern, you know, piece of fabric, some threads, a little pattern. Wouldn't be a pattern keeper pattern. I have not got a cross stitch program, but I just think that might be nice, and that would probably be separate to it, because then I'm making a massive great box, and it becomes unaffordable, and we want to be able to choose what we have in. So Halloween box, I went in, and of course I had to get the pumpkin cats, because I've already bought this, I've already got bags. I think I've sold 2 bags of pumpkin cats, but the pumpkin cats, I had to buy it. I have now got a proper piece of pumpkin cats, and I thought, right, they need to mix them, they need to match, be matchy matchy. I've not gone matchy matchy. I've gone, look at this, it's cats, bat cats and cauldrons and pumpkins and fire, and isn't it amazing? So we've got 2. The only common ground there is that they're both cats. And then for the binding and for some insides, I've got potion bottles, which actually goes beautifully with that one. Let me fold it that way. Beautifully with that one. It'll go with that one just fine too. So Halloween little box. It'll be literally 3, possibly 4 little things that all match together. And then I thought, well, we don't really do Halloween that much in the UK. We think postage to America is going to be bang on. By the time they're ready, we should have it sorted. It's on its way. I'm reading up on it all the time. We're nearly there. I think I could post to America today without any problems, but I'm going to leave it a few weeks before I actually risk it. I thought, well, what about autumn? Because we're a bit more autumnal in the UK. So I went in with the thought of getting leaves and toadstools and hedgehogs. You know what I went and bought? Let's look at this fabric. It's badgers and bunnies in tunnels. They're in burrows, and that is such a difficult colour. It's like pink and orange mixed together, this colour. It's one of those colours that I would struggle to mix paint that colour. So I then found one that matched it, same tone. There wasn't much that matched it. It's a very funny colour, this. It's lovely, but it's pink and it's orange and it's brown, and I got acorns that matched it really well. And then this went to, so I've got spots and spots, but the spots are the right colour. So we're going to have a little autumn box and a little Halloween box. Now, of course, that leads me to do winter and Advent, Christmas. I've got the winter fabric picked already. It is, oh my God, I nearly bought it today. Had I not have already bought 6 pieces of fabric and fusible fleece, I would totally have bought the whole bolt of this fabric. It's gorgeous. So my winter fabric is picked, and yeah, easy decision. I just took one look at it and went, oh, well, I have to have that. So my winter fabric is picked, and she's getting this year's Christmas stock in this week. So I'll go back, get my 12-weight Aurifil, and be a bit more careful with my choosing. I was in fabric, like my eyes were like everywhere, and I literally had 20 minutes before I had to go and get Flora from school, so I couldn't really browse, but I still managed to buy a whole shit ton of fabric. Anyway, watch this space for little boxes. They won't be everything in the world. It's not going to be a whole advent to unwrap. It'll be bits and bobs. So anyway, yeah, and if I can manage to scrape my arse together and do a little pattern, we might have a little kit as well with hand-dyed fabric and a little pattern, a little paper pattern. And so I might need to do a little stitchy modelly, but I am not going to be a designer, promise. I might occasionally dye fabric. I will always make needle minders. I don't think I'm going to be spending hours at my computer drafting patterns. That's not the direction I'm in. I am hands-on, make and do. I want to show you all of my cutters, but I will show you the needle minders I make with my cutters when I've made them, because I've got a few more arrived today, and I just love them, and I can't wait to get going making things. I finally got some dragon eyes on the go over there. I've started them, so I'm really excited to finally make some dragon eye needle minders, because I haven't made any for ages and ages and ages. Lizzie also brought me another little bag of little wooden discs. She's back painting little wooden discs. Lizzie, my middle girl, who was doing, oh my god, I've got to go and get my birthday present. I keep forgetting to show you it. I will go and get that. Hang on. Sorry, I've just wobbled my camera. It's going to wobble and then stop. Right. Now, Lizzie, my middle daughter, did her first year at doing art at university. And she was down in London and it was too far away. She came back up a little bit early. She did finish her course, but she came back up a little bit early. She had an incident at a train station where she was basically assaulted but not really hurt. She had to obviously report it and everything, and it really frightened her. And I think it brought it very, very stark that she was a very long way away from home. So basically her boyfriend finished work and went and got her. So she's living with him in about 40 miles from here. She turned up on Sunday. She just came through the door and I wasn't expecting her, and it was just like amazing to see her. I think she's happy. She's working at a hotel doing housekeeping and bits and bobs, and she is going to start doing pet portraits and things. So I'm just putting it down there. We all know how wonderful she is. When she's got it sussed, I will give you the details. That's, you know, I've got to plug my own kids, haven't I? Because they're marvellous. Anyway, let me show you what she painted me for my birthday. You ready for this? Now, if you don't watch this on repeat like Lizzie and I do, this is a scene from A Room with a View. Look. Look at the light. There we are. Isn't it marvellous? This is poor old Julian Sands, who did himself a mischief up a hill in America, and Helena Bonham Carter, who is a lot older now. But look at this amazing picture. This is what she gave me for my birthday. And my girl, isn't she outstanding? So she's got just a fair talent. She truly has. And I will absolutely treasure this. Just the light. It's glowing. It's literally glowing. The light on as it hits, and the cloth. She's always been able to paint cloth. Just look at that. It's just so brilliant. Yeah. I kept forgetting to show you my birthday present. Anyway, she is going to, because there will be an on season where they're very, very busy and she gets lots of hours, and then in the off season she might not get very many hours at all. So she's going to be painting and doing things. I think eventually she's going to apply to do like primary school teaching assistant, with a view to becoming a primary school teacher down the line. She's only 19. Little girl who painted this is 19. And university wasn't quite touching it for her. They were making her do things outside her comfort zone. This for her is huge. She's a miniature person, hence the needle minders and things. You know, she does like to do tiny little pictures, so that's quite a big thing. But if you look at the oh dear that she gave me last year for my birthday and that, the difference is astonishing, really. Anyway, I'm so proud of her. Isn't it amazing? Anyway, I've rambled on for nearly an hour. I told Richard I sent him up to have a little nap on bed, and that was like, I'll be half an hour. 54 minutes later, I'm still talking. Anyway, yeah, I'm thinking very seriously about setting up a Shopify as opposed to the Ko-fi. I know I'm ping-ponging here, there and everywhere, but I really need a proper shop, as it were. Oh, he's come back downstairs. Right, guys, I'm going to get off and go, and I will see you next week. Don't know what I'm working next Wednesday. If I'm working next Wednesday. Don't know. We'll find out. It's quite nice to be back at work. I was incredibly busy on my week off. I got very tired because I had to do lots of things around the house. But yeah, I've got lots of things to make and do now, and I'm going to get on, do some stitching. I think barely stitched today. I've done like 100 stitches today. Need to catch myself up. Righto, I will see you later, guys. Thank you for watching me, listening to all my rambling. If you made it right to the end, well done. And if you don't forget, leave me a little comment if you want to be in the chance of winning last year's December Needleminder of the Month club. There. Okay, right guys, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.